Hi guys, Sandy Ingram here. Welcome. We've got some interesting news coming out of Iraq. The Central Bank of Iraq is now being accused of printing new dinars. And the CBI says this is not true. They say they are not printing new dinars to cover government spending. Instead, they say recent operations were part of normal financial management involving treasury instruments. Okay, not reckless money creation. This matters because Iraq is facing serious spending pressure, and whenever people hear in Iraq and different parts of the world printing money, they fear inflation, currency weakness, and change to the Iraqi Dinar value. The most dramatic point is that the CBI is trying to calm the market before the rumors become panic. Now, what this kind of report shows us is that the people of Iraq have a clear understanding of what printing extra or more IQD banknotes is all about. In simple terms, Iraq's central bank is saying we are managing liquidity, not flooding the economy with new cash. The bottom line is that such an activity is prohibited under CBI law number 56 of 2004. Yeah, Iraq has a law against printing new money. For investors watching the Iraqi dinar, this is important because confidence in the currency depends on not only on oil revenue, but also on whether Iraq can control spending without weakening the currency. Now, in this second news story, come close, I have something really important to share. The Prime Minister of Iraq has pledged $10 billion towards the development fund. Not the development road project, but the development fund, which is backed by the Central Bank of Iraq. Now, the goal is to push money into private business, factories, jobs, and non-oil growth. This matters because Iraq cannot build a stronger economy on oil alone. And this channel has explained that to you over and over again, how the IMF is encouraging and recommending that Iraq develop, maintain additional streams of income outside of the oil industry. Will this money reach real businesses, the $10 billion, or get trapped by bureaucracy or worse, corruption? Iraq says it wants a stronger private sector. Now, we will be able to watch and see whether this $10 billion promise translates into real economic change. But listen up. If printing money is the most important news in this video, then finding a new route to export oil is the most crucial report in this video. Now, Baghdad is now making nice with Erbil, aka the Kurdistan region, to facilitate oil exports from northern Iraq via Turkey to the Mediterranean Sea. Iraq is now in a pinch because of the Strait of Hormuz being blocked off. They can't get all those millions of barrels of oil exported. Therefore, they can't get paid. And this is very, very serious. Now, the CBI has already said to everyone, don't worry, we have foreign reserves. They have $100 billion. billion dollars in the Federal Reserve Bank, over $100 billion. So therefore, they have the necessary foundation to take care of the government for a short period of time. But this is very, very disturbing that they cannot continue to receive revenue of $5 to $10 billion a month for their oil revenue. I think last month it went down to $1 billion because they can't get the oil out of Iraq. So now all of a sudden they are being friendly with northern Iraq, the KRG region, whereas before they were being a little harsh to the Kurds. Baghdad's gonna learn that you gotta be nice to people all the time, because you never know when things may shift and you may need their support. Now, they needed a new prime minister to help make all this happen. And a prime minister who did not have ties or bondage or baggage that would hinder the KRG and Baghdad relationship. Now, Maliki had a strong history with the KRG, but he was opposed to them on certain levels. He never, ever wanted them to be independent. Plus, the United States was jumping up and down. They did not want Maliki to be president. So this new guy that comes in, he doesn't have any ties to anyone. He's a businessman. He fits more into the category of President Trump. But here's what you have to remember. The educated men in Iraq understand all too well how to manipulate the platform of democracy. I have never seen a group of people stay on the fence for decades between Iran and the United States. This takes finesse and intelligence, not to mention foresight. It's not until Trump got in the White House for the second time that he is making Baghdad get off the fence. But you got to remember this. The new prime minister of Iraq was around 17 years old when the U.S. invaded Iraq in 2003. Here's where he differs from the masses. He went on to generate millions of dollars for himself and for his family, while the rest of Iraq was trying to get over the war. He got over it and started building an empire. This means that he looked out at the tanks and the U.S. invasion and how the world participated in taking Saddam out, and he saw an opportunity. Are you hearing what I'm saying? He was 17 years old around when all hell broke loose in his country. I'm not sure if he fought in the war or not. I have not been privileged to that information yet. But he decided, okay, I need to do something for myself and for my family. And he created millions. With the Strait of Hormuz closed, Iraq is embracing Jordan pipeline and the KRG region to export oil. The country depends now on these two factors to get it out of economic hot water.